Not easy. Trust me, it's not easy at all.
It isn't easy to, but I've heard a lot of people bought tickets for like almost a grand and they were there for maybe 4 weeks. It's not, I don't think it's like that bad.
Mm, that's crazy. Well, I'm trying to give it because thing is, my mom has a little conference going on there in 2028. So I'm trying to get a lay of the land first before I
Oh,
go back.
there you
So,
go. Yeah. I mean,
so
like I heard some people gone to Japan and they stayed for 3 weeks and they only spent like 2K. So as long as you have like the flight ticket and then an extra 2K, you should be fine.
mm, let's see what let's see what happens when I get closer.
I
Because I
love that.
see because I see so many people traveling out of the country these days. So I'm trying to get with the program.
Everyone's going to Europe, everyone's going to Asia. Like this is the year to do it, the year of the fire horse, you know?
Hmm. So I might have to cancel out convention plans in general because I got so much stuff to do.
Yeah. I would,
So
yeah. I mean, at least come to our conventions, the ones that we're going to.
I'll try my best. I'll try my best. Well, if all the small talk is over, I guess we can go ahead and get this thing underway.
For sure.
Um, but yeah, but so far everything's going okay.
Yeah, everything's good. Everything's good. Just going back to Arizona on March 9th, so gotta get ready for that. Other than that, I'm just trying to be healthy. Like everyone here has the stomach flu. And I'm like,
Mm,
ugh. I just got home from yesterday from doing my taxes and I got back and I was like, why does my stomach feel so weird?
oh boy. Well, shoot. Let's hope it doesn't come back.
I know. So just trying to
So,
survive.
so all right. So as you know, my name is Phil. I'm host of the Conversation Podcast, and I have a guest with me this afternoon. Introduce yourself. Who's Darlene Pham I'm speaking to?
Hello, everybody. I'm Darlene Pham. I am a sales rep for Dominic Glover. As you can tell, repping one of his shirts right now, Samurai Jinx. And he
Mm,
also has a whole bunch of other new merch online as well. So go to dominicglover.com. This is his Instagram. Make sure to follow him on his social media. Yeah, we're going to be at so many cons this year, and I'm like so excited for it. It's going to be wild.
can't wait. Hopefully, one of these days we'll cross paths again, Darlene.
I
So
hope so. I know. It was so much fun meeting you.
I try my best. So now, before we get into it, let's start with a little bit of an icebreaker. Now,
Mhm.
you've worked with Dominic Glover on so many like projects before with him, like making sure help him getting his stuff out here.
Absolutely.
Have you done any side projects like any anime girls you've done before?
So not anime girls, like you mean like cosplaying wise? I've done a lot of animes for cosplays, but for any other artists, the
Mhm.
only convention artists that I've worked for were a lot of special effects makeup artists. So that's what I did before when I started working for Dom. I was in theater and a lot of Broadway, a lot of behind the scenes sceneries and stuff like that. I did it like special effects, I did the makeup, costume design. So that's mainly what I kind of did. And from that point on, I would just join a lot of like short plays and little theater sets and would help perform, like help them do like their makeup and all the behind the scenes stuff. Yeah.
Well, fun stuff. Well, shoot,
Mhm.
if you do any more of that stuff, I need to check it out.
You should. It's all on my Instagram. So a lot of my special effects, I usually now I save it up for all Halloween or like
Mm,
sometimes I get promoted to do a lot of special effects for conventions as well. So that's actually how I got into all these convention scene was I way before the whole con scene, I did special effects for theater and then all that started to go viral and then I got like super well known for a lot of my makeup stuff and my costumes and designs
wow.
etc. So that's how that all led into convention stuff. People were telling me I needed to start cosplaying for conventions. And I was like, what's a convention? And they're like, you've never heard of C2E2? I was like, no. So I did my friend's makeup and she was actually Ursula. So I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." So she, like, had her 3D design staff done, she got her like, she handmade her tentacles and all this and that, but she didn't know how to do her makeup. So I did her makeup, and, she went to C2E2, and I guess she needed a ride, so I went with her, and I was like, "You know what? Cool. This is, like, my chance to, like, shine and show, like, what my potentials are with my makeups and, my costume design." So
I was also going to ask, and listen, I've been asking this question around to many other like creators and stuff, like girls who do like this kind of that kind of thing. Have
Yeah.
y'all ever tried of doing like anything mermaid like something like that?
Sirens? Oh my goodness. So I bet you've seen it. It's all over Instagram, but there's like those Instagram mermaids sirens where they have like the actual tail and they will
Yes.
swim underwater. So my goal is to save up for a tail because I really want a tail and do like a whole underwater like photo shoot because I've done special effects scales. I've done where like have burning mermaids and stuff like that. I've done a whole bunch of makeup look for like underwater creatures and stuff like that. So it'd be so cool to actually have me as a mermaid doing stuff underwater. That'd be so sick. I just need to find like the perfect photographer that's willing to work with me.
Well, I'll be tuning into that. That sounds exciting.
Yeah, it will be. It will be.
All right, so I have over 20 questions. Thing is, done in the previous episodes, I've done 25, but I'm trying to dial it back down to 20 now.
Mhm.
So let's start with section one, origin, identity, and stepping into her own name. Your
Mhm.
name, what I mean by her.
Mhm.
So now you move in creative spaces, business spaces, and digital spaces. But before all of that, before the titles and platforms, who was Darlene becoming? What were the early signs that you weren't just going to exist in the world, but express yourself in it?
Oh my goodness. I love that question. Anytime anyone asks me that question, I love to talk about this because I came from a very hardworking family. My mom's one out of 14 siblings. So I have like infinite amount of cousins, infinite amount of aunts and uncles, and they all came here during the Vietnam War. So it's like they inspired me for me being who I am today. Like if it wasn't for them, I don't think I would be able to have the chance to be creative, you know? Like I just went to Vietnam 3 years ago and found out that my great
Mm.
grandfather was a watercolor artist. And I was like, "Where am I getting these skills from?" Like, no one in my family can draw, like, but I was like, "Maybe this is just something unique to me." And then I came back to Vietnam and I found out, like, my grandfather was a watercolor artist, and they still actually had his mural, like, hung up, and the paper was, like, thinner than tissue paper. And it was, like, a very beautiful scenery with this stream going down and mountains and a little like boat over here with people on it. It was incredible that they still had it. And I was just like standing there and I'm like, so this is where it all came from. Like I found the root of my skills and my talent because I've always wondered like everyone's in my family is sort of like in the medical field, typical, Asian vibe. But then there's like me who's like super creative and I'm more like artsy and I'm trying to like I always question myself where it did come from and that's basically where it came from, was like my grandfather. Apparently, he was super talented and painted a lot of landscapes and sceneries and stuff like that. So then one day, like when I was little, I just loved drawing horses anatomy. That's how it all started. I was watching a movie about horses and I was like, "Wow, horses are so pretty." So I started drawing like the whole body, the tail movements, their anatomy, all this and that, and then it extended from there. So it like became from animals to, obviously Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, that's it all extended from all those drawings. So
Wow, that is amazing. You went to Vietnam 3 years ago?
yeah,
That's-
I was there for a whole month.
How was it?
I love it now. Like, if you ever go, I'm gonna definitely go with you, and I'll definitely bring you to all the best places, all the best street food, all the best like beaches, the seafood, to just like places that I even got a tattoo there. Like, I know all these awesome people, and they're so universal there. It's actually becoming a little bit more like colonized. So, like, there's a random Starbucks. If you go to Saigon, there's, like, Starbucks there and McDonald's, which is fine, but I will show you the country area. That's where my grandma and my whole family kinda grew up, so you'll be able to see, like, where Vietnam was, like, actually rooted, you know?
Sure, I'll add that to the list. And I'm glad that you said medicine with Asian descent because I've been watching Apothecary Diaries and I'm almost done with season one. And
Nice.
I've
Okay,
been
so
like,
tell me, how do you feel about it?
it's been great so far. I like the storytelling. I like the culture because I was paying attention of so this is how they do like traditions back then,
Yeah.
like the old days when the Chinese was starting to come up. They do like rituals, all that
Mhm.
stuff. No, they did makeup to do all kinds of celebrations. So I'm starting
Yeah.
to get an idea. I actually spoke to there were two voice actors that I spoke to last November. You know, back then when I did season one of the show.
Mhm.
Um, I spoke to both Rochelle May and Kelsey Cruz, who are both Li Shu and Yinghua in the show.
Wow, that really? That's crazy.
Yes. Yeah, we was talking about all their voice acting things, and I was telling them about my pod character. I was like, I really starting to like pay attention to context in these shows now. Because
Mhm,
usually I just like, listen, in high school, I was mostly in it for the entertainment. I just go see somebody, just get something signed. But now, like me, I'm reading and doing more research on these things because I've been
yeah,
researching all about what the Chinese did, Vietnam did, and how they,
mhm,
because, sometimes back then they had some kind of like, I don't know, it was like some kind of war or something, but they had like some
mhm,
kind of like falling out maybe. I think I need to
mhm.
read more about it, but I'm really interested in it.
Yeah, you should. It's learning about the Asian culture is definitely eye-opening because like I think not a lot of people you don't really learn much about it in school either. So that's like the other thing about education. It's like you only learn about what happens in the US and with all our presidents and stuff like that. But it's very important to learn about your culture and where you came from too. Like
Mhm.
how it connects and unify every race, every culture, every tradition. Because that we're at the end of the day, we're all still the same people. We're all humans. So, and we're all
Mhm.
here put on earth. So it doesn't matter what skin tone you are, what kind of language you speak, what kind of food you eat. We're all the same type of people. And we all want the one thing where we all just want equality, right? We all want peace, and we all want like really good love and family. That's all we want. That's at the end of the day, we're all the same people.
Yeah, of course. And I just want to sit down and have those one-on-one conversations with those people from different cultures so I can get an understanding for it too, which is really nice so far. And I want to keep doing that.
Oh my God, I appreciate that, dude. Like that's amazing to hear that you're willing to do that. That's a huge strength in a human being, like
Mhm.
being able to open your mind and your perspective in life because there's so much more to life than just who we are right now.
Yeah. So I can't wait to keep having those conversations. So let's just keep it moving. So
Absolutely.
this one, I think you're gonna like this one. Now, number two, being connected to someone like Dominic Glover means you've had
Mhm.
a front row seat to artistic ambition. At what point did
Mhm.
you realize you didn't want to be adjacent to creativity? You wanted to
Mhm.
define it on your own terms.
Okay, so this is so funny. I've actually known Dominic since 2017 and his work and all this and that. And I don't know if you've seen how he all started, like how his work started, but it's not what it looks like now. It's totally different.
Right.
And it's kind of like how I am with my creativity and all this and that. It all starts somewhere, it all roots from somewhere. And then you just keep growing from there. So, like, being able to work under Dom, I tell him this all the time. I'm like, "How am I your friend? How am I?" We call each other cousins because I've known him for so long. He's not actually my blood cousin. We're just like really close.
I
But
understand.
I call him like we're so close. Like we have so much in common and all this and that. And I just love working with him. He's just such an amazing artist and he's so talented. But what it is about him is he keeps it so professional. He's so professional about his work and he's so consistent about his work and so strong and adamant about it. Like it's incredible what comes out of him the next day. Like I'm just like, oh, he's drawing, okay, this, and then I'm like, cool. And then he's like, oh, this is what it looks like now. I'm like, how'd you do that? Like what? Like, that takes skill, and that takes so much time, like, you can't just come up with a drawing like that out of a whim, and then, like, a whole background scenery and all these colors and stuff like that, so it's incredible to be able to work under him, but yeah, it does get to a point where I ask myself, I'm like, "Okay, now that I'm working for Dom, at some point, is there a time where I wanna do something just for me?" Like, a moment where I branch away from him and start incorporating my own art into it too. I've Dom actually has asked me about that too. He's like, "Is there anything you want to show while we're at the shows or whatever?" But I alone am not confident enough to show my artwork to other people. I think it's fine for Instagram, but like to start putting it at shows and stuff like that, I feel like I still need to, like, clean up some of my drawings and have, like, more of a consistency with it. Right now, I'm just doing a whole bunch of portraits and stuff, but, like, they're not relevant in any way, so I feel like not a lot of people are gonna be interested in it, but I don't know, a lot of my friends and even Dom had told me to just, like, give it a try, so
Okay, I understand. And I like how you said that because sometimes it's like I don't know if I can really do this right now. It's just
Mhm.
I just need to sit back and watch what he's doing, and which is
Yeah,
I think that's a smart move.
yeah,
Sometimes you get to those situations and trust me. Listen, there's a lot of people there. They want to see a lot of amazing things, but
right,
sometimes I was like I don't know if I can show my work out there yet because I don't know what the outcome's going to be. So I'm not. I need to
right,
wait until the time is right.
right. But also waiting does also contradict. So I mean, I get part of me is always like, just do it. You never know who's gonna like your artwork. But then the other part of me is like, I need to like have a unified platform, more something like that is a group, like how Dom just does anime, or he does just Marvel, or he does just DC. Like he has like specific groupings, but for me, I wouldn't even know what kind of grouping my artwork would be. It's so random.
Well, I would say, just just I would say just take your time, because I know
Yeah,
just because Don's been doing this for years after I've been
for
doing some
years.
research on him after I met you at Superstar. So
Mhm.
yeah, sometimes like I said, Darlene, if it takes you 2 years, then it'll take you 2 years to get it
Yeah,
right. So
right.
there's nothing wrong. Like, listen, I will sit back and wait until the time comes.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. I think it all just takes time, and whenever you're ready, you're ready.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Um, Next question. There's a difference between being known and being understood. Now, have there
Mhm.
been moments where you felt seen on the surface but not fully understood beneath it? What did that teach you about protecting your depth?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so I love this question because I've gone through that my whole entire life. I've always been seen physically and whatever on the outside. Everyone's always, because that's what you do, right? You as a natural human being, you see people on the outside and you immediately judge. You don't even kind of think about it. You don't even take a second to think about it. You immediately just judge what you see. And then from that point on, it's up to you to make a choice to get to know that person internally, or you can keep judging them based on the outside. So my whole entire life, I've been bullied when I was in middle school, going on to high school, and a little bit even in college. So um, being like, I can't change my luck unless I have $1,000,000 and go get surgery or something. But, like, I am who I am, and this is just the way I look. So it's funny how, like, when you're bullied for that long and you're like, "Why am I being bullied? Like, what's wrong with me?" You ask yourself all these questions, and then you come to realize that it's not you, it's them, right? And once you come to that terms, and then you realize, like, "Okay, how am I gonna take this into another level of understanding myself? Why was I bullied? Why were they bullying me? And from that point on, you just learn to grow. You just learn to be better. And then because I got bullied, I am who I am now. Like I've learned to be humble, and I learned to just be loyal and consistent. And I learned to just be kind, respect the human world. Like it's easier to hate than it is to be nice. It's just how it is. The world is a cruel place, but it takes more time to take time to learn somebody, right? And
Mhm.
getting to know somebody. So, yeah, no, I love that question. That was such a good question. That literally defined my whole entire life. I'm 31 now. That defined my whole 31 year of my life. Like that question was so solid. I really appreciate that question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told you I'd be prepared with this stuff.
I love that. That was so solid.
Thanks. Yeah, I can relate to that too. Sometimes, high school, elementary school, I had it backwards. Elementary, middle school, and high school, we have to navigate through life and figure out what kind of person we want to be when we
Yeah.
get to a certain age. Now, listen,
Mhm.
I was bullied throughout those years as well. Elementary school, I was definitely bullied.
Yeah.
Got punched in the face twice on Fridays.
Oh no.
So if I didn't let the scars take over my life.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
and then in middle school, I was hanging out with the wrong people. I was just focused on purchasing, trying to look cool, purchasing basketball shoes and stuff from the NBA. But
Mhm.
after a while, I was like, that's not who I was in the beginning. Because back then, when I was a kid, I liked watching TV shows. I grew up with
Mhm.
Batman the animated series.
There you go.
And then I decided to go back to where it all started for me when I was in high school. High school, I
Mhm.
was still bullied because I wasn't, it was hard trying to find the right people.
Yeah.
Then when we get to college, I was so focused on just being like just being known, just say, hey, I'm this guy. You should. But then that took away what I was supposed to be there to do. Once I got
Mhm.
my morals back, I focused
Mhm.
on what I had to do, graduate, got my bachelor's degree. Now, a few years later, I just finished my cybersecurity program, and all my certificates are here this week.
There you
So
go.
there's that. So what I had to learn throughout those years was
Mhm.
it's okay to slow down and enjoy the small moments in life.
Yes.
Like I've seen, listen, sometimes I do get a little jealous. I was jealous like throughout 24 because I've seen so many people go to all those movie premieres and content creators
Mhm.
going to all those movie premieres in Los Angeles, California. But
Mhm.
I was like, that's just people just they do this and they just like it's all like noise and stuff. They do all, but sometimes
Mhm.
talking about the pop culture does get a little exhausting.
It
And I just
does.
want to break it from it. That's why I'm like, you know what? I don't care about these movie premieres no more. I'm just gonna
Mhm.
watch the movie and just go home.
Mhm.
Because it's like what I got because I was like at the end of the day, it's just a movie. It doesn't really matter.
Right.
So I just but yeah, I just decided to just slow down and just focus on being successful and make sure that I'm fulfilled and that I'm happy with it.
Right, and everyone's success is defined differently for everyone, right? So it's
Mhm,
like for you being successful is finding peace, and for me being successful is finding peace. So like it's in a way it's all different, and what our goals and how to get there is so important. And but the hard part is and I learned this from Dom. Dom told me this. He's like, the people that you are surrounded by are the most important people. Those are the ones that either are going to help you grow or they're going to either break you down, like and slow you down from reaching your goal. So then you
mhm,
start to having to eliminate who's important in your life, who are just noise, like you said. Like being on those red carpets and doing those movie premieres can help you and your resume and all these and your experience and reaching, that goal of, I guess, popularity, sure, but is that gonna get you far on where you need to go? Because there's a cap to everything, right? There's a cap to
yeah.
a lot of things, and you're trying to have to eventually get to a point in life where you realize, okay, now that I'm here,
Mhm,
I'm happy, but how do I get to here and still stay happy, right?
mhm. Yeah, like I said, if it's not fulfilling, I want to make sure my life is fulfilling. If it's not fulfilling, then I got to find a different way to do it.
Right.
So and listen, this is why I keep telling people, listen, darling, you'd be surprised how many people be messaging me on Instagram saying like, is this like when I've been interviewing so many different people, especially with
Mhm.
the VAs, they ask me, is this an anime podcast? Is this an anime podcast? I was like,
Mhm.
and I was trying to make sure I don't lose my cool here because that's not who I am. It's not an anime podcast. It's a general everything podcast. Sure, I
Mhm.
have a few people coming on, but that's not, because I guarantee you, I can guarantee you that these VAs get tired of talking about anime all the time.
Oh, yeah, I mean, they get asked probably the same questions too, right? So
Yes. So,
mhm.
and some of them are liking and that I be asking, they're like, I don't want to talk to y'all not just as VAs. I want to talk to y'all as people.
Yeah, as human beings. Like, how's it going at home? How's the kids?
It's it's exactly. That's why it's just called like I could have just called this. That's why it's just a conversation between two people or
Right.
more. Sometimes I
And
did do a couple of panels last
yeah,
month.
and that's what
So
actually what gets interesting, right? When you go beyond what they actually just do, and then you
mhm.
ask personal questions to the point where they're like, "Oh, how'd you know about that?" And yeah, it gets
again,
deeper.
again, I do my research.
As you should.
So let's see. Let's go to the next question, shall we? We're almost at the end of section one, so we're doing great so far. Um,
Nice.
when people hear your last name or learn about your connection to an established artist, do you ever feel pressure, subtle or direct, to live up to something? Now, how do you make sure your identity stays self-defined instead of inherited?
Okay, that makes sense. Um, So like it's so funny because in high school I've actually changed my name a lot of times. I was actually very embarrassed to have my name. I didn't really like my name nor my last name. People never pronounced it right. I was always pronounced as Darlin Pham or Pham or Pam. And then I'm
Oh,
always like, oh, you know what? Just call me D or or I had other people call me Lainey because it was easier, you know? Then finally, at some point in my life, something just clicked and was like, just be proud of your name. It's your name. You were born with it, you know? So every time everyone's like, what's your name? I'll be like, it's Darlene. And they're like, Darlene? I'm like, Darlene. Darlene. And I would emphasize on the E. It's so funny. Yeah. I mean, you know, everyone has their own identity. And I feel like with me, especially like now working for Dominic as well, people are starting to recognize me more, and they're like, "Oh, are you going to be at these shows?" I've been getting messages for the last couple of weeks saying like, "Oh, are you going to be at this show? You're going to be at this show," you know. And I'm like, I might and I might not. I don't know. I have my whole year scheduled planned, but things can happen, you know. Things can happen. I might not be there, but if I am, you will see me. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Yes, be proud of your name. Listen, I mean, I like how you said that, and I'll say a few things because with my name Philip, it means horse lover, pretty
Yeah.
much at this point. I
Mhm.
didn't like that name at first, but it's the name that my parents gave me because my ancestor was great Philip Anthony Cooper back in the
Mhm.
day. So, but Phil can also mean more things than just horse lover. Like Phil can also mean I can do it.
Yeah.
Pretty much in that simple. I just never thought of that until this year. And I was like, okay, so maybe it doesn't have to mean that specific type. So, but yeah, you don't have to like think of it like in a negative way. Try to think like in a positive way. Like, you were born this name, let's make the best of it. And you had to make the best of it with and listen, I actually like Darlene, okay? So
Thank you.
so don't
Thank
don't
you.
don't listen to what those other people are saying. But
I
yes,
appreciate
if you
it.
if you get a certain name, you got to learn how to stick with it and deal with
Yeah.
the outcomes. And I know it's kind of tricky because now since you're related to, well, if I can say that, related
Yeah.
or connected to Dom,
We're
you got
family
more
friends.
you got more people
Yeah.
checking out your content and checking out, trying
Mhm.
to ask you what show you going to be at because I want to see you, etc. I think that's
Yeah.
amazing. Like
Yeah.
you didn't need Dominic's help. You did the way you wanted to do it.
Exactly. It's because like I mean, you've seen it, right? When I'm on the floor and I'm out at these shows, it never feels like work. To me, being at these shows it's literally my way of breathing. It's like another way of breathing, you know. I'm just so used to these shows, and I love talking to people, connecting with people, and just making them happy by giving them Dominic's artwork. Literally, that's all I love doing. If I could just do it all the time without stopping, you know, because I know for con seasons there's slow months and stuff like that. But constantly giving, like for example, there's like this little girl and her dad. Her dad was dressed as Goku, actually Vegeta, and then she was dressed as one of the Demon Slayer characters, and they were just like cosplaying together. And I was like, I grew up without a dad, but it would be so cool to have like one of my family members to go to these conventions with me. And then she was like, "Oh, I really want this Demon Slayer print." And the dad was like, "Oh, I don't know, I don't know." I was like, "Well, if you get this, I'll give you a second one for free, you know?" And he goes, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah, absolutely." And I handed her the Demon Slayer print, and she would not let it go. Like she kept holding on to it. And I'm like, "Girl, you're gonna wrinkle that print." But she was only like 5. So I was like, "Let me put that in a bag for you, and you hold the bag like this." And she was like, "Okay." And the next thing you know, she's like running away with it. And the dad's like, "Can you help me take a picture of us together?" I was like, "Absolutely." And it was the best experience ever. And that's what I live for, you know, like going back to the other questions, like all this all kind of wraps around. It's like a whole infinite circle, right? We all every step that you take is like a roadblock to where you are now, right? And this is literally, I feel like I was meant to do this. Like this is my sign to like reach out to all these people and just make people happy with Dominic Glover's artwork. So
Oh, that must have been a sweet moment. I like it.
it's really cute. It was really cute.
Well, you should bring one of your family members next time. That way it could be a two things. So you won't be on. Because I know you
Right?
were all alone when I met you at Superstar, and I was like, is
Yeah.
she the only person here? I mean,
Yeah,
you
none
know.
of my family really gets what I do. I've tried explaining it to them, and they're just like, "What?" And I'm like, I would even show them videos of everything that I do too, and like explain to them what conventions were, and it doesn't like interest them, and that's okay, you know. But my friends are all
Mm.
down, and that's what I really appreciate about my team with Dominic, Ashley, Angela, Kyler, all of them are amazing. Like they get the scene, they all work so hard, and when we're actually connected as a team where I'm not doing just solo shows, but I'm with like someone else at the shows, like they appreciate it as much as I do. So
Mm.
it's pretty cool.
Well, shoot, hey, if you do bring any of them to the next show, I want to meet them. Okay.
Oh, for sure. I'll be with Angela, so I'll be with her most of the time this year. Yeah. It'll be
Oh
cool.
boy. But it's gonna be tricky because I don't know which college you're gonna be at, but
Mhm.
I'll stay in the loop as possible. But like I said, as I said in the video before, like I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. I'm pretty much
Mhm.
here. Plus, those places are expensive. It's expensive.
Yeah.
It's
I
the
think,
it's the floor, the hotel,
mhm.
and paying for like all the artwork too. It's not cheap. It's
Yeah,
expensive.
it is. A lot of the shows now have raised like their hotel fees and their badges and stuff. So it does get difficult now more to like go to these conventions. But if anything, follow us on Instagram. We always do post what our next shows are. So
Yeah. I'm actually, I think I already do, but anyone who's
yeah,
listening, they can go check it out.
for sure.
So
We're doing
so but
Cleveland next, Richmond, and then C2E2 Chicago. That's happening all in March.
oh man. Well, I'm gonna be busy here, so I ain't gonna go into that too. Plus, I got big guests later this month too.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
So there's that. But I'll make it work at some point. So question number 5, and then we'll be on section 2, okay? If
Sounds good.
someone tried to summarize you in one sentence today, what would they miss completely, and what part of you refuses to be simplified?
Oh my god, everyone literally says this. She's always traveling. Where is she? Where's Darlene? I thought she was here, and now she's there. One word, I'm a traveler. Or like I can never sit in one spot for too long. I just have to go and do something, whether it's like drawing or going out to eat at a restaurant or watching a movie or whatever. I cannot sit in one spot for too long. Like people always says like, "Oh, Darlene's a traveler or she's adventurous." I'm definitely one of like a spirit animal, definitely for sure, just like flying everywhere. So this is why this job is perfect because the travel is key to my life for sure.
Okay. Yeah, you gotta be doing something constantly. I know, because listen, I don't like being cooped up in my house all day either. Sometimes I like to go travel, go venture out into the city for a bit, see if there's
Mhm.
anything new going on. And like I said before, I just got back into Twitch streaming. I haven't been Twitch streaming in a few months, like two
Yeah,
months, because I've been busy doing this thing. I'm trying to get
right.
back. Like I said, I just started playing Super Mario Galaxy again before the movie comes out in the
Mhm.
next 29 days.
Mhm.
So I'm trying to hurry. So there's that too. But listen, even if you're not going place, at least you're still doing stuff at home. Like I'm still trying to
Oh, yeah.
find ways to be productive at home, still
Mhm.
do online stuff, trying to work on where I'm gonna go next eventually. But it's a
Yeah,
work in progress. So I think as long as you're just staying productive and planning out stuff every day, you'll be fine.
exactly. Yeah, stay productive.
hmm Where you gonna travel next after these conventions?
So I'm leaving Chicago March 9th, and then we're gonna be doing Cleveland, Richmond, C2E2, which is in Chicago, and then I'm traveling for the next 8 months until I'm able to come back to Chicago again, and then just kind of be with my family and take a break from the con season.
The next 8 months. Wait, y'all not traveling. Y'all traveling out of the country for the next 8 months and all that
I
stuff.
think Dom and Ashley might be going somewhere out. They usually always go to Japan by the end of the year.
Mm,
Yeah, they go to Japan for shows down there. So
yeah, I'm trying to like. I try to get there.
he's trying to
Just
get
let
there.
me. Just come on. Like,
Yeah.
well, the only right now, I'm just trying to save as much money. Yep, all them cons are going to have to go on the shelf. I'm trying to save up money for Japan and stuff for my birthday. My birthday's this September, so I'm trying to go
Oh,
there.
okay. Okay,
So
yeah,
it's.
I mean, you still have time. You still have
Mhm.
plenty of time. Just save up and if you keep looking at depending on the flight you go on, you keep scrolling down, there's always like some sort of discounts or
Mhm.
deals or whatever for flight tickets and
It's
yeah.
true. Well, hey, it sounds like it's going to be a big adventure for you this year.
Wow, it always is. Like in my head, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be doing all these shows for like 8 and 9 months, and then I was this close. I'm buying a ticket to go to India. like after the show.
Mm,
And then I was just
okay.
like, but that's who I am. Like I would be that spontaneous and do like random adventures like that. I really want to go to India. So it's either between India, Argentina, or Brazil right now. So
Well, make sure you post pictures, okay, so I can see.
definitely, definitely.
So, um, so now that we're out of that section, now we're in section two, the
Mhm.
artist's illustration as language.
Okay.
Now, when you sit down to illustrate, what's
Mhm.
happening eternally? Is
Okay.
it emotional release, storytelling, discipline, escapism, or
Mhm.
something hard to explain?
So when I love drawing, like I don't know what it is, but my mind literally just focuses on that one line that you're drawing, and then you're connecting it slowly to the other line. And then from that point on, when you get all the outlines done, then now you're going into the shading. And then after the shading, then you go into the highlights. That's what's in my brain. And then everything else that's happening in the world with Darlene goes away for as long as
Mm,
I draw. But then the moment I put the pencil down because I'm done drawing and I know it's finished for that moment, then everything comes back in my head again. Like all the Darlene stress comes back. But no, but when I'm drawing, it's that moment of quiet. It's actually like so therapeutic when I'm drawing. So it's pretty nice.
pretty much you're in the zone. Like everything in the outside world is off.
It
Now you just
literally,
focus on writing and illustrating.
yeah, it literally is. And that's why I think it's so important for everybody to have that certain hobby. It kind of checks yourself from feeling that stress and anxiety and depression or whatever that you're going through. But when you have that hobby that just clicks, like when I'm drawing, all of my stress kind of goes away for that moment. Yes, it's just temporary, but it feels good in that moment to just have that peace and quiet for like an hour.
That's nice. That's nice. And,
Yeah.
I've seen so many artists do that. Like you don't know what they're cooking up in there. It's like a lot of neat
Mhm.
stuff. Well, so I got a question for you to add on to that. Have you So you've done a lot of illustration. What illustrations have you done up to this point? Like just give me like three of them you've done.
So recently, because of the whole Stranger Things finale came out, I've done all the portraits, most of the artists, or not artists, the actors' portraits. I've done Lucas, I did Max, I did Mike, and all the other actors that were in Stranger Things. And then I also done Donna Don. I drew Okaroon and Momo. And yeah, I mainly work on portraits. So I like abstract portraits and or free, like very uh I guess like watercolor vibes when it comes to portraits. Yeah, I don't really do like very like detailed. I don't really work with digital. I'm trying to get into more of that digital world, but I feel like now with the whole AI, and everyone going towards digital, it's very intimidating. So it like nobody can really copy your traditional work because you're actually physically doing it with your hands. When you're doing it digitally, like anyone can just screenshot that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I will say that too. AI is kind of dangerous these days, and we just got to be careful. And I like how you said that because I had a conversation with a friend of mine was talking about, AI is being used a lot these days. And sometimes they've been using like the artwork to like try to create like an AI image of somebody. But I was like, that's like disrespecting the artist
Yeah.
when it's actually artificial. Because there's also been a few instances where what's that company that they're saying Oh, there's also I read an article or read something. It was something with Sonny Strait. He's the voice of Krillin for Dragon Ball, talking
Mhm.
about how Crunchyroll is restricting AI uses in their company because they believe that humans should have the right to record their own voices. So
Yeah.
same thing when they did when they had like different things like with SAG after like 3 years ago in 2023. I was looking at that kind of stuff too,
Mhm.
and when I was watching Marvel Studios Secret Invasion, they did an AI intro for that. I was like, and I paused the show and figured out what the hell is this?
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy stuff. And with some of your artwork, and I see some of your artwork too. You've done amazing Asian work.
Thank
You didn't
you.
have to. You didn't have to rely on no computerized
Mhm.
source to do this kind of stuff. This was made from the heart and soul of your work.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's the thing about, being able to have the skill is like, yeah, I can draw, but I have to be motivated to do it. Something has to push me to get there, and it's just, luckily, Stranger Things came out, and I've been seeing all these new artworks that are popping up on Instagram and social media, and just even seeing Dom's work, I'm just like, how'd you do that? And I want to do that. Like I got so inspired on doing a whole bunch of K-pop Demon Hunter stuff, and
Mm,
recently, I had a friend reach out to me to design a K-pop Demon Hunter posters for C2E2. So I did two for him as well. So
wow.
yeah.
I was gonna say, like, have you ever I want to ask you another thing. Have you ever got any of your artwork signed by any of these actors or something?
I did. So V Neil, I love her, and this is how it goes back to me being a special effect makeup artist. She's a special effect makeup artist. Everyone knows V Neil. She did Batman, Beetlejuice, Edward Scissorhand, The Lost Boys. Um,
Okay.
she's one of my like dying like celebrity, special effect makeup artist. And I met her in person. I met her in person and she signed one of my artwork. I painted a Batman and she signed it for me. And she said she literally said in person, she's like, "This is really beautiful." She's like, "Are you doing anything with this?" I was like, "No, I'm just here to have you sign it." So
Mm.
yeah.
I was gonna say you should keep doing that stuff. Keep doing those kind of. Listen, there's another friend of mine. She lives in Savannah, but I think she just went to another convention recently. Her name is Amaji Joe. She was actually in Superstar Con with us.
Hmm.
She is a very sweet lady. She actually got some of her artwork signed by a few people that I've met. When she met Mallory Rodak at Superstar, she got her artwork signed by her.
Hmm.
And I think Mallory liked it because it was really amazing. And so I was thinking, if you do this hour, maybe you should keep doing more stuff and get it signed by the people so they can
I
check out.
should, right? Actually, I'm gonna go get my portfolio real quick. Is that okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna show you some of my stuff. Yeah.
Take your time.
Okay, so I got my big portfolio, and it will be so cool to get. So I'm like a huge Harry Potter nerd. Everyone knows that about me. I painted this.
Wow.
It would be so cool to have him sign this. Like I would probably pass out. Or like I painted all the three Harry Potter characters: Ron, Hermione, and then Harry as well. So it would be so cool to get like Daniel Radcliffe to sign this as well. That'd be pretty cool.
Yes, it would. Can't wait.
It'll be pretty cool.
Wow, that's amazing, man. I would say, Darlene, you should do some. I know you'd be supporting Dominic with his, but you need to get your artwork out there just so you get people to sign them.
It's just like, where are they? Like, would they? I don't even think they go to most of these cons besides for V Neil, right? Like, or like I
Yeah.
did, Squid Game, which was viral for a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, it'd be
That's
cool to have him sign it too.
Man, you got all this artwork, Darlene. I'm trying to figure out why she ain't getting that signed. Oh, that is amazing.
It'd be so cool to have Chris Pratt sign this too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually got the Guardians 3 poster right here, but the sun's blocking it.
Oh no. Oh, I can kind of see it in the back. Yeah.
Yeah, you can see crackling right there. So but that is really amazing. Darlene, please do the more of those artwork so you can get those things signed.
I know, right? I kind of just like put a pause on it. I guess I don't know. It's like I'm at a point like, and here's all my Stranger Things one. Like this is Will, and then of course Steve, Max, and then of course the OG.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, so oh yeah, this is the painting that V. Neil painted or signed.
Wow.
Mm,
Okay.
yeah.
Amazing stuff.
Yeah.
All right. All right. I am shocked. Shoot. Well, if you ever make one of those, I might have to add that to my collection. I still ain't got a frame for Sonic from you guys.
I will definitely get you a frame the next time I see you.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So
Or you
let's
can
go
just
on.
I think if you reach out to us on our website, there should be frames on there. You could definitely just buy a frame on our website as well.
Well, I was gonna say because there's a Michaels down the street. I was gonna go to Michaels and get that
Mhm.
frame, but I will check you guys out first before I make any
Yeah. Check
decisions.
us out on our website for sure. And you get a print, you get the frame as well. So yeah.
All right, all right, all right. Next question. I know I was kind of venting about that art session, but it was fun.
That was so much
Um,
fun.
art often says is what words can't. What has your illustration allowed you to communicate that you never said out loud?
Definitely the diversity of being able to create and not having like I don't know. I feel like with my artwork, I mean, as you saw earlier, they're very specific kind of artwork and textures, you know. And even with Dom, like with his digital, and then Adam as well, he does a lot of watercolor and stuff like that as well. Um, I feel like everyone kind of just like does their own thing, and I don't know what it doesn't really speak to me. I guess it's just like what speaks to you as an artist, what kind of motivates you as an artist and what doesn't. It's kind of we kind of all just do our own thing and feel like what what makes us happy when we draw. And I feel like that's the other thing. A lot of artists now has been pushed off on drawing things that makes them happy because now they're filled with so many commissions and they're kind of you have to kind of just do those commissions to get paid, right? And at what point do you stop doing commissions and kind of just do what makes you happy, right? So that's like the biggest thing I always talk to artists about. It's like, yeah, you can keep drawing what you want to draw, but or is it going to sell well? Or you keep doing these commissions because you're getting paid for it, right? There's like that line. So,
Yeah. Another thing too, and I will say this, I've asked this question to so many people when they're
mhm,
doing like portraits and everything. Whatever art you're doing, is it like you're telling a story? That's what I always ask them too, because these questions feel
mhm,
like because sometimes every art that I've seen, even when I
mhm,
go to art galleries in my hometown, Savannah, Savannah is a really amazing artistic place. These
mhm,
these people, especially with these SCAD students, they tell like a lot of amazing stories through all the artwork they've done. And it's
mhm,
like, well, shoot, this is something I got to figure out. What exactly is they telling here?
mhm,
That's what makes it interesting because I don't want them to tell me for I want to figure it out by myself so I can
mhm.
understand how they put this all together.
Yeah. I mean, I guess at the end of the day, I guess it depends on the drawings, right? So, I mean, we all know he passed away. So I drew this specifically half Black Panther and half of his face to symbolize like he will forever be the Black Panther. Like no one can ever replace him, no matter if is another famous actor out there that can probably play him as better. But at the end of the day, he will always be Black Panther, right? Or you know
Mhm.
how there's so many Spider-Mans now? There's like Tom
Yes,
Holland and Tobey Maguire, right? At the end of the day, people fight about who they like as Spider-Man, but I mean, who was the first Spider-Man, right? So it's kind of like that when you're drawing. It's like you kind of it's such an open to interpretation type of thing. So that what keeps the art going.
definitely. What keeps the art going? What is it? I don't know if you've seen a few other artists on social media like Nicholas Smith. He's done a lot of artwork from with dealing with history. Civil rights, everything. He also did an art for Chadwick Boseman himself too when he passed away as well. So
Yeah,
he's done a lot of good work. I'll share it with you later. But he's an amazing artist as well, and he's won like a
yeah,
lot of awards.
yeah. Make sure to share that to me.
So, but yes, every art that you do, I like this is why I be telling people like everything that you do, you got to make sure, like, okay, I've done this. I need to
Mhm,
sit down, understand, and brainstorm what's the context behind this artwork that I just
mhm,
finished. Because if I
mhm,
don't have any context behind it, then it's not going to be good for viewers just to
mhm.
enjoy.
Mhm.
Because people are going to ask you those certain questions when you go to like these art expos, art galleries, these
Mhm.
exhibitions. You got to make sure you have something to tell them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's why I feel like with a lot of people's artwork, at the end of the day, you put all your heart and soul into it and your energy and time and whatever, but it's your art, right? Not everyone's gonna like it. And not everyone's gonna, and there are gonna be people that love it. So at the end of the day, you kind of just have to find the right group of people that appreciate your artwork. So yeah, I mean, or I know a lot of other artists, they put like Easter eggs in their little pictures and they have like, like you've seen, I don't know if you've seen the whole Batman and Joker where he's laying like from the Titanic and he's like, draw
Yeah.
me, like, that's funny, that's storytelling, and it's unique in its own way, So when it comes to, like, my drawings, I feel like my mom actually told me this. She says I draw eyes very well to the point where you can kind of feel emotion in it, and that's kinda what my goal is when I draw something or I draw portraits is to focalize on the eyes, so
Okay. Okay. Well, shoot. Oh, yeah. So it's and that's really amazing that your mom told you that you draw good eyes and everything. Because
thank
you know, because I know think of it like this. I'm trying to gather my thoughts here. Think of it like this. You're taking all this time, hours, weeks, and maybe months, maybe, to
Mhm.
sit down. It's like sculpting like a sculpture in a museum. You want to make sure
Right.
every detail is carved out.
Mhm.
You want to make sure, because if not, then it's like you're missing a few pieces to that statue.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta
Yeah.
make sure it's perfect.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, I know, it's funny because like, some of my paintings, like, for example, this Batman one, it actually didn't look like this before. It was a lot different, but I kept coming back to it and then finalizing it to the point where I was satisfied, like, I don't know, it was just something about, like, "Oh, do I want it to look plain, or is the lighting too harsh?" or stuff like that. But that's the cool thing about traditional work, is you can kinda see the before and after. Like, you can see the process work in it, like, this white line wasn't there before, but I put it in after. These little bats weren't there after, and then before I put it in after, like these highlights and stuff in his mouth was all afterwards. But yeah, it's just like that's why I love traditional work. You can see the process, but once it's all put together, it's so unified. And you're just like, okay, I'm done.
well, hey, the bats behind his head are actually kind of a good touch.
Thank
I
you.
like I
Thank
like
you.
it. So, um, let's see. Next up, do you create from inspiration in the moment, or are you someone who believes in structure and consistency, even when creativity feels quiet?
Okay, let me show you this. Everyone knows The Walking Dead. So I drew that, right? I was watching the whole season of The Walking Dead. I was so addicted to the show. I was like, I need to draw Rick and Negan together.
Mhm.
But I'm like looking through Google, I'm looking through Instagram, trying to just get me going on like how should I make the background? Should I add the zombies on the bottom? Is it too much? Or like their poses, right? Like how do I make them look like the show without copying any other people's ideas? Or, you know, when I did this, I came up with the idea, we definitely need a fight scene. That was number one thing in my head. We need a fight scene with Rick and Negan because that's iconic in the show. Everyone knows like when they're fighting, it's a good episode. But now how do I make it unique to me where if I were to Google this somewhere, is it going to show up or is there something similar to this, you know? And there isn't. So you in a way what motivates me in drawing The Walking Dead was one, I was motivated by the show, but two, I really love the actors and everyone behind the whole casting. And as well, who doesn't love zombies? Who doesn't love zombies? Zombies are great. So yeah, when it came to that drawing, I was motivated by those three things that made me happy. Like I love zombies and I love the actors, I love the show. So and like it goes back to the other questions where what motivates you into doing what I do. It's a lot of it had to be pushed, right? It wasn't something that I woke up and was like, I'm gonna just start drawing The Walking Dead. No, I literally was inspired by the show. So yeah.
Okay, Mrs. Walking Dead. I haven't seen that show yet. I am thinking about watching it.
It's
You know,
good. It's good.
because I heard they also did like a Telltale series too. Or is that The Last of Us? No, it was a
That's
Telltale game, The Walking
yeah.
Dead.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, I've heard great things about it, and it's nice that you had like those kind of inspiration because now it's like, okay, you're a zombie person. Now I see why she likes zombies, and she did all this. Because I was like, she's a fan of zombies. She made this amazing portrait.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I
are you
mean,
gonna?
even The Last of Us. Last of Us was so good. If you have the time to watch it, you should definitely watch it or play the game. If you haven't play the game. Actually, I recommend you because this is why I love The Last of Us. I played the game, and then they years later they were finally like, "Hey, we're gonna make a show," and I was like, "No way!" So and they went literally play by play by play on how the game works. So it's pretty cool.
Shoot. Well,
Mhm.
I was gonna say if you do any more zombie games, you could do Left 4 Dead
Left
series,
4 Dead is
or
good. Yeah.
or I would say okay, maybe Back for Blood. That's a zombie game too, but it came out. But they said it didn't do good so good on the market because they were
Yeah.
trying to like do all that stuff. Listen. I stopped playing Back for Blood because it was too scary for me. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, no,
Actually,
the
funny thing is, I screamed twice, and then my parents were like, "What's going on?"
Mm,
Oh, he just like, "Oh, you just playing the game." I was like, "I
mm.
can't handle it. I
It's
was like, "It's digital, but it feels real."
it's so funny. That's how I felt when I played, BioShock or even, like, The Last of Us with the clickers, you know? At the beginning of each game, they ask you, "How do you want your brightness to be?" You want it to be, like, medium or dark or very bright. I always scoot that thing all the way up to the brightest, and then when there's a zombie behind me, I can see it from far away. Because 'cause I'm not up for the jump scare. I don't need the jump scare right now.
Yes, listen, when I got grabbed by one of those guys, oh shoot, you're gonna laugh at this because I'm about to do something silly here. I was screaming, I was screaming so loud. I was like,
No, I but you get that feeling in your stomach, right? Where it drops, and after you, like, die, you're like, I get it
listen,
all
there's
the time.
also another zombie. It calls himself the Hag. If you start a hag, it's gonna eat you and run away.
Oh my god.
And I was like, I was like, what is that? How's that fair? Listen, it keeps coming towards me. I was like, I can't do anything. I'm just chilling out.
Oh my
Why you
goodness.
like if you told me not to, how am I not supposed to straw you if you coming to bother me? Go away.
Go away. That's why I turn on the brightness, because then you can find them. You can see them when they're coming after you, and you just kinda keep climbing up, you know?
And guess what? I think I was playing with my uncle online, and I was like, just you don't move. Are you sure? Yeah, you don't move.
Don't move, don't move.
But now he came after him, and guess what? And when he when because thing is, I was like, so you just gonna let the hag eat me? And guess what? I was like, sorry, somebody got to live to tell the story.
Someone's gotta live to finish the game. So
So
funny.
that's hilarious. Yeah. So somebody got to live to tell the story.
That that's how I felt when I was playing The Last of Us. Same thing, dude. Like, there's a part in the game where you're not, you know how a lot of games are you're chasing the zombies on land? The Last of Us, there's a part where you're actually chasing clickers underwater.
Really?
And it's dark. There's no light, and you can't use a flashlight, so it's dark. You're swimming, and there's a clicker that's in underwater. So then you're just like having to swim away, but then because you're a human being, there's like that breath like length on how long you could be underwater. So like I'm
That
telling you, you need to play The Last of Us. Play The Last of Us. You'll love it.
I'll look into that. But yes, I'm trying to get back to horror games after Bat for Blood and all that stuff. Sometimes some games can be scary now, but I was like, you know what? Let's do it. Let's listen. The only scary game I'll be playing, and listen, I'll be playing the Luigi's Mansion series.
Oh yeah, those are freaky.
Listen, I almost got enough money to get Luigi's Mansion 2 next week.
Let's
I only, I
go.
only got I only got Luigi's Mansion 3. I need a Luigi's Mansion 2. I need the whole trilogy. But the thing is, on the Nintendo Switch, you can only play the original one, but it's only on the expansion on Game Pass. I was like, Why can't I just put it on a cartridge? So I was like, okay, well, shoot. Well, let me get Luigi's Mansion 2 for now. That's like the only Halloween horror game that I only play because it's simple. But I
It's so
still get
fun.
jump scares.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah.
it,
If you ever played like the Mario parties, Mario Party 4 or 5, they have like the Luigi Mansion, Haunted Mansion part where you have to play with your like your partners or whatever, or your cousins or friends or whatever. And I remember when I was little, it was I think it was Bowser's Castle or something in Mario
yes.
Party. And then he comes up and then he shoots flames, but it's in the dark and all you have is one flashlight and you gotta run away from Bowser. Yeah, that it's so fun. It's so fun.
Ooh, man, now I'm thinking about going back to horror games because they are funny, but it's scary too at the same time.
And that's why you higher the brightness, lower the volume.
Hmm. Oh, there's another one that was like, phasmophobia. There's also that they already got on Xbox. I'm too scared to play because I'm on the only person in there. It's
Uh,
like you have to take pictures of the ghosts in there.
wait,
There's I
really?
was Yes, you have to take pictures of them without getting caught.
What? That is creepy.
I know that's why it's called phasmophobia. And listen, I was watching this guy on YouTube and he was playing with his friends, and it was like phasmophobia, and he was like, oh god, I'm dead. But here's the thing, he was hiding in the closet. I was like, don't go in the closet. And then after the monster opened the door 3 times, he was like, no.
Oh my
it, fo-
goodness.
it found him. I was like, got him.
They're
This
fast.
guy's a dog. It opened the door 3 times. And then there's also the scene where he plays the jukebox in the house. I was like, don't play the jukebox, it's bad idea. He was like,
Yeah.
he was like, might be a bad idea, but plays the jukebox. And then he dies. Oh, it's here. Yeah, it's in the living room. No.
Oh my goodness. That's so funny.
And then the other person was laughing while he was dead. And the other person came out and was like, I wasn't even gone that long. What happened?
That's so funny. Oh my goodness. Oh my, that's how I feel when I play Slender Man. I'm like, oh my god. It was like an old PC game, right? So you play on your computer and the brightness can only be so bright and the darkness can only be so dark. And then
Yeah.
when you're running, Slender Man's like right behind you and he just keeps coming and then all of a sudden he pops up right in your face and then it's like game over.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Well, shoot, I want to check out The Last of Us, okay, and see what that game's all about. Let me look.
definitely.
Let me look at it first before I start playing it. And okay, because I know, because thing is, I was going to play on the Xbox to see what it's like.
It's on the Xbox. Play it. Actually, don't even look into it. Just play it. Just play it.
Okay, fine. I'll play it. I'll play it. Um, Next question. After the whole Halloween scary games and everything, now, has there ever been a piece you created that felt like a turning point, not because of how others received it, but because of what it unlocked in you?
Oh my god. Okay, so yes, we're gonna talk about this. I I'm like I said, I was like obsessed with Stranger Things for a little bit, Harry Potter, a bunch of all the other stuff. So and I cosplayed. I always challenge myself when I cosplay to do something that one makes me uncomfortable, but two also has to change my height and my gender. So I did Vecna. I was Vecna from
Like,
Stranger Things.
okay.
And I don't know if you ever seen the process of how they actually make his prosthetics in the show, but it took months. Like they couldn't narrow it down to the right, I guess, anatomy on his face or whatever. But when they finally had it done, they like had all the prosthetics done in pieces from the chest to the back to his arms, to his hands, his legs, his face, his cowl, like the whole 9 yard. So I got so inspired by that that I actually kind of did my own versions of it. And I planned it out in about 2 months. It took me to like plan out the whole thing and to save up all money for like 2 months. And then I actually started the prosthetic work in month 4 and finished the whole painting and everything by the end of month 6 to wear for Halloween. And I was wearing stilts. I had, like, stilts on to make me taller. My feet was all weird. Like, it was yeah, it was crazy. I had this whole prosthetic body thing on me for literally a day, but it was totally worth it. It was totally worth it to be Vecna. It was definitely challenging for sure, and it being Vecna, but also like because of my voice, I can't speak like him. Like I don't have like that. I am going to, like that really dark voice. So it was just like, yeah, I looked like him, but how can I talk like him? It was really funny when I was outside and I was wearing Vecna. We went to a bar for the Halloween contest and I was just walking in and everyone like it got quiet. The bar was so quiet. And these two couples are like laughing, they're having a good time, they're a little bit drunk or whatever. They turn around, they see me, and the husband goes, "What?" And he falls down from his stool. He's like he's like, "Whoa, you're so scary." And then I went, "I'm so sorry." And he goes, "Your voice did not match your costume." It was really funny.
Oh
Yeah.
man, that must have been a fun time. On them Halloween costumes, people scared out of their pants. But
Oh, yeah.
Vecna, I was like, man, I mean, if you had enough practice, you could pretend to like try to get Vecna's voice down. You
Yeah,
could.
I could.
I would say
Maybe.
I would say a 90% possibility.
Probably. Or I had a friend, he did a Star Wars cosplay, but he has, like, the voice changing thing in his mask where you just speak through it and then it changes his voice, it, like, alters his voice, so I might need one of those.
Voice modulators.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
I wonder if they're selling those. Oh well, we'll find out later. So, last question of this, and then we'll be on section 3. We'll be at the halfway point.
Nice.
As someone surrounded by pop culture influence, how do you protect your originality? How do you make sure art carries your fingerprint, not just the influence of worlds around you?
Oh, that's a good question. That's a very good question. Anytime I create something, especially when it comes to my artwork, besides putting in a story or besides being inspired by other people and trying to make it original, like for example, I drew this in college. Johnny Depp being married to Amber Heard. I drew that in
Wow.
college. And it's so funny because I'm a huge Johnny Depp fan. I love Johnny Depp and I've followed his story for a really long time. And it's so funny. I mean, you probably know about the whole divorce and whatever happened to him and Amber Heard. But when before that all happened, I painted them together as like caretakers. And there's like the
Wow.
priest in the back and them being happy and stuff like that. But there's little stories in the pictures. There's little, I guess, like symbolic moments in the pictures where, she's poised very confidently. She's like, it's all about her. And then Johnny Depp has sunglasses on and he has a cane on. It's literally storytelling because I predicted that he's going to get to a point where she's going to be all about herself and kind of like, self-centered and narcissistic as she is. So it's funny because I painted that before his divorce case like happened. Like a part of me just always knew it was never going to work out. So yeah, just like being original, creating your own story, starting with your own like mind and creativity and going from there and running with it.
Well, I can't wait to see what you do next with your artwork. And listen, it's still the early in the year, still quarter 1. I want to see what you do going
Yeah.
forward.
Thank you.
So, all right. So we are now officially at the halfway point. Are you
Yes,
enjoying our
sir.
conversation so far?
I love this. This is so interesting and so exciting. And I've had people ask me a bunch of questions about myself, but they're never like this discreet, like never so like personable. I love it. It's good.
Well, I did say no filters at the bottom.
That's right. That's right.
So, section 3, image modeling and digital presence.
Mm-hmm.
Now, modeling is about presence, about being seen, but being seen isn't the same as being empowered.
Right.
What does it take for you to feel in control of your image rather than controlled by it?
Okay. Yeah, that's a good one. I feel like a lot of people now that are quote unquote models, they have to be a specific height. They have to be a specific weight. They have to look like makeup wise, they have to look as natural as possible, even though they have makeup on, right? You have to be healthy. You have to have a six pack or a big butt or whatever. Like a lot of models are literally posting themselves in a stigma kind of way because that's what every other model is it's defined as. But when I model, I do what makes me happy. I do a lot of the things that, yeah, I don't have a six pack, and yeah, I have like 13 tattoos, and my makeup can be very like, dramatic or whatever. But that to me is how I model, right? I'm not 6 foot tall and I'm not skinny in any way, but like that what makes me happy when I modeled and what empowers me because that's who I am. Like I know it's all about your confidence. At the end of the day, it's all about your confidence, yeah, I might not be that 6 foot Vogue model, but at the end of the day, I come off confident in my photos. Like I did a photo shoot for my birthday where I was, smoking a cigarette like with a Russian fur hat and I'm like burning the newspaper. But the cool thing about that photo shoot, it wasn't just for my birthday, but it was to show empowerment of what's going on in the world. There's certain parts in the newspaper that were talking about politics, about the riot, about, ICE, like a lot of stuff in the newspaper that was happening right now. And then I was burning it. I was just literally smoking a cigarette, being like a Russian mom, you know? Or for example, I did the neon bathing suit in ice cold snow weather, like
I
that.
saw that one, and I
Yeah.
was thinking, how is she able to survive in that cold weather with just a bathing suit? I don't understand how they do it.
It's all about the confidence and your mindset, like a lot of people when they model, they think they have to look like a specific way or be a specific like higher skin tone or whatever, but it doesn't matter. It's all about what makes you happy and your confidence, right? That what makes the photo. And people ask me that. They're like, "Oh my God, weren't you cold?" I was like, "Yeah, if I put my butt on the snow for too long." But it was really warm out. It was warm out and I was happy to do it. And I had such a amazing photographer that was there and he made me feel comfortable and boom. I mean, that whole idea was mine. I wanted to do more of a wintertime cyberpunk photo shoot. So that was all that was what
Ooh.
that was all about.
Oh boy, you better put that on the list. Yeah, because I've been looking at so many photos and models these days, and that's how I've been able to like get a few miles on here too. And
Mhm.
some of them, and also when we were at Superstar, I did run into a few burlesque performers, and they done like
Mhm.
a lot of artistic stuff, and they done a lot of They also done a lot of nude photos as well, but they weren't
Yeah.
showing as much because they kept it professional. And
Mhm.
and I was like, because I was thinking, I've seen so many people do those kind of. I was like, how did couple comfortable doing all this? I guess it's
Mhm.
like they like doing this kind of stuff, and it's who they are. And it's
Mhm.
like, they've picked the right professional people who can handle this sort of thing.
Mhm.
And trust me,
Yeah.
I tried to do that last year when I was doing photography. I'm trying
Yeah.
to get into photography. I had a little incident last April. I had a little bit of a falling out with somebody, so I put photography back on the shelf. But I am thinking about coming back to it again. But yeah, I don't think new photography is my thing. I don't feel comfortable about it because I'd rather stick to what
Yeah.
I'm used to.
People always talk about the models, they never talk about the photographer. I had it many times. I could look the way I look, I could feel hot, feel confident, but if the photographer ain't doing his job or her job, the photo will turn out like crap. So at the end of the day, if you're gonna be a model, you also have to find the photographer for you, Find somebody that can take your photos and know your angles and know your heights and which side looks better than the other side, like all of those things all make the images, and at the end of the day, the photographer had to be confident, you have to be confident. If one of them are not confident, your photo is gonna end up look like crap.
Right. Listen, like one can't sing. Y'all have to be in perfect sync. One can't
Exactly.
live without the other.
Exactly. Yep.
So, and I think with you found the right person when you did those cause into the snow shoot like that.
Mhm.
Hopefully, when you do the mermaid one, you'll find the right person.
I know, that's the thing, I have to find someone that has, like, an underwater camera. Like, I need someone to or put their camera in a bag or something. And
That's
snap it.
true. I actually found someone who lives in my hometown who does that sort of thing, but I was like, nah, she's too far. You're in Chicago. I'm in Georgia. It's too far away for her to travel.
I
There's
would
no point.
travel for that, I would do it. I'll do
Really?
it in a heartbeat.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll pull up the lady's name again and see if I can find it. And
Okay.
I'll send her out to you. I think she has a contact number. So there's also that too. So I'll look at that. But
Send
yes,
it
if
over.
you get but yes, you gotta have the right people with the right equipment, the right
Absolutely.
motivation, and to
Mhm.
get that situated. Because I know you're dying to be Mermaid Darlene.
Yes.
So, because I know, because listen, there are also, if you listen, there's a few anime shows that have mermaids in it. You got My Bride is a Mermaid. That's
Oh,
an old
okay.
classic. That was an old classic anime. It's still popular today. And then you also got this one, but it's been in the Japanese subtitles, and I'm like, there's no English there, but I was like, I'm used to Japanese subtitles, but now so I'm used to it. There's this one called Mermaid Peachy Peachy.
Oh, okay.
So
Cool.
I don't know if you know that one, but you need to look it up. It's really good.
I might watch it tonight. I have nothing
Mm.
else to do. We're gonna watch some mermaid anime. Let's go.
There you go. But yeah, so but those are really good shows. So maybe you could try to do something. Well, I don't know if you like a lot of pearls in your hair now,
Oh, that'd be
but
cool.
we'll see what happens. But yes, photography. You gotta make sure you have the right people. Like I've seen so many people do like and also you also gotta be careful who you shooting with because there's a lot of people who do a lot of weird and crazy stuff.
Yeah, yeah. That's the other thing I was gonna mention as well. You can hire all these awesome photographers, but at the end of the day, get to know them.
Yeah, get to know them. Definitely get
Get
to
to
know them.
know them.
If I can say this, there's been like when I was doing photography in college, I had a little bit of an issue. Of course, I was in Florida when I graduated, St. Austin, Florida. I
Mhm.
was in a predominantly white school.
Mm,
So I was there's a few black people out there. They're trying to make it diverse. It's
mhm.
a private school.
Right.
So what happened was I was in this photography class for my last year there for
Mhm.
senior year. Sorry. Why do I think of thesis? um what happened was there was a lot of girls who was talking to the professor about what I was doing, my photos and everything. And when I went to this office and went to talk me what was going on, and then there's a specific question that made me uncomfortable that he
Mhm.
asked, and then I had to tell Title IX about it. He was saying, "Why do you like taking pictures of women?" So I was a little confused, and I'm trying to figure out where this question is coming from.
Mhm.
So when I reported him to Title IX, I think he apologized for what he said to me the other day because that's not my intentions.
Right, right.
So like
Yeah,
he thought I was having some kind of like woman fetish
predatorial
of like
fetish. Yeah.
yes, that's like what were you thinking?
What were you thinking? And at the end of the day, it was all projection. He was projecting. So maybe he's the creep. He's the
Well,
creep.
well, what's said and done. I mean, I already did what I was supposed to do, but and I also had another situation too. It's like there's this woman who was saying stuff like like what happened was sorry, I'm trying to get my it's been a year since it's been almost a year since that happened. Right before I met you in November. What
Yeah.
happened was she kind of crashed on me with the pictures. I mentioned one of her friends without her consent. I did apologize because I'm
Hmm.
still learning how this whole business thing works.
Right, right.
So what happened was he said, and when I apologized, she said, "But you did it anyway." And I said, "Okay, I apologize. What else do you want me to do?
Hmm.
Do I need to like kiss your shoe or something?"
Yeah.
So 2 days later, she called me like delusional on social media, and I was like, "Shoot, all this over some pictures? Are you serious right now?"
That,
Don't get me wrong.
yeah.
She is a white woman, so that kind of like clears it up. And then when
Mm.
she kept telling her friends all about me, I had to block all of her friends because they were stalking me now.
Oh
So
no.
and then I called her out on it and everything. And
Mhm.
I think Darlene, like one of them, I got like death threats.
Oh no. See, yeah, that's kind of the reason why. So I've been modeling since high school. I've been doing a lot of like personal photo shoots for myself or even other people. Um, and I've encountered a lot of that. I've encountered a lot of weirdos when it comes to
Mhm,
photography and modeling. You would think that they're professional, and then
mhm,
you start working with them, and then you get like the bad vibes. So it's
mhm,
at the end of the day, like always, number one, if you're ever going to become a photographer or model, get to know who you're working with, get to know your clientele, like go out to lunch with them for even before you do a shoot. Like it's so important to get to know who you're working with before you do something because like professional photographers, you pay. You're taking your money to give to somebody to hopefully have these good photos, right?
mhm.
And they're expecting a lot out of you too as a model, and when you're doing it professionally, you
Hmm.
see the professionalism, you feel the professionalism. Okay, you're done, boom, boom, boom. There's no weird energy. But then there's like that one person that you run into that's constantly
Yeah.
in your DMs that's like, hey, you're so pretty, you're so whatever. Can I do a photo shoot of you? But I want you to be dressed like this. That's okay, red flag, right?
Red flag.
Red flag, right? Or you have someone
So,
that's I've done photos. I used to have a camera and I used to take photos of other people, and
mhm.
if they're uncomfortable in a situation, you make them feel comfortable and you tell them, "Hey, is that something you don't want to do? We can change the whole topic, the whole theme." So at the end of the day, but the whole modeling and photography industry is so complicated. Like it's it's a sticky situation where yeah, you can come out and have such great photos and all this and that, but it's so easy to get into that bad side of it too.
Oh, most definitely. And you just gotta be
Mhm.
careful about who you're interacting with. Like,
Yeah.
now I had a someone now I have a few friends who told me like you can't let something like that stop you from making the artwork.
Mhm.
But yeah, like I said, there's this event that I'm going to at the end of this month. It's for my mother. They were to ask me to take pictures at this event. I was like, okay, I guess this could be the entry for me to get back to doing photography. So
There
I'll
you
get
go.
back to it and maybe find. But here's the thing, traveling to those different places with models and everything is expensive. Like I can't
Mhm.
reach them. Some of those places that I'm gonna have to I have to pay for like plane tickets, pay for gas, and try to get to you guys because y'all in different states and it's hard. And different
Yeah.
countries too. It's hard to catch you guys.
Mhm.
So that's something for me to figure out for these next few years. But for
Yeah.
now, I'm doing what I can here at
Yeah.
home.
Yeah.
So but yeah, photography. I seen you like the model. I can't wait to see what you do next.
Thank you.
So next one. Now there's a version of you that exists in photos and let's see. I am sorry. My brain
You're
is
good,
on
girl.
vacation. There's a
Mhm.
version of you that exists in photos and on screens. How different or similar is she from the woman sitting here right now?
Very different. I always tell people when you're working, and when you're at home. So when I am getting ready to do, for example, that photo shoot when I was in the snow in my swimming suits, like I had to change my mental mindset to be ready for that and to be prepared for all the comments, whether it's positive or negative. You got to be ready for all that, right? At the end of the day, I'm doing something for me. I'm not doing it for you. At the end of the day, whatever you do, you got to do it for you. What makes you happy, right? Regardless of the negative outcomes of it or positive outcomes of it, you have to just do it because you want to do it and that it makes you happy. So yeah, it's no, it's definitely two different people. Like here right now, I'm just being me and I'm just talking to you and we're hanging out, But but when I'm working or I'm having these commissions or whatever, my mindset's it's 110%. It's click, 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 ready to go, professionalism to how do I reach my goal on what I'm trying to achieve that day. So yeah, it's two different businesswomen. It's the funny Darlene that's right here right now, and then the professionalism Darlene that's over there when you guys see my work on Instagram or at shows or whatever. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Yeah, because I know like everything you've done, and it's like, you exist on photos, you exist on the screen. It's
Hmm.
different versions of yourself here and there.
Hmm.
Listen, it's like the different environment and different types of situations you're in. Because I know when
Hmm.
you're doing photos, you're just being your gorgeous, beautiful self down there,
Hmm.
which I like. Keep doing that. That's the artwork. But
Hmm.
then on the screen, just talking to you, it's a different person who just is like expressing themselves how they do these certain things.
Exactly. It's totally different. Like when and on top of that, when I'm working, there's so many things that I don't do. Like right now, I would if I could, I would have a bottle of tequila, I would be vaping or whatever, because that's like me now. But like when I'm working, I don't drink, I don't go out, I don't do any of the things that will distract myself from working because I'm in the zone. I'm trying to reach that goal of like, how do I get to that goal without any distractions? So like even in the snow photo shoot, like yeah, the snow it was freaking cold. My butt hurt, my thigh hurt, my knees hurt, but I had to put my mindset at 110% to achieve that photos, and I got them.
It comes with a job, don't it? You got to fight through the pain.
You gotta fight through the pain. Making money ain't easy.
Man, maybe next time I need to come on set and watch how you do things.
Yeah.
Maybe that'd be interesting.
Yeah, it's fun.
So,
It's great. But people always say
but
you're so different. You're so different at shows compared to like how you are when I'm hanging out with you outside of work. I'm like, yeah,
what I'm
it's
saying, this is what I'm saying. Like, I want to see. Listen, outside of work, I want to see what y'all be doing.
yeah,
Listen, listen. I'm venting here.
I'm all
Every
for it.
time when I go to these conventions and stuff, I
Mhm.
don't care. Like, when I go to, when I be seeing the VAs, I be like, what y'all be doing like outside VAs? You know how many of these
Mhm.
VAs have been traveling to other countries and just
Oh
living
yeah.
life to the fullest? Like,
Mhm.
listen, there was a city, like, I'll give you an example. There was one that I saw, Elizabeth Maxwell. She went to New York just to chill out and everything.
Mhm.
I was like, see, like, I don't like, that's what I'm saying. Like, the high school me was just focused on them just voicing. I was like, now the 25-year-old me is just like, what are they doing outside of the VAs? They're busy,
Oh
like,
yeah.
just going out, traveling, hanging out with friends and stuff.
Mhm.
And here's the other thing too. Like, when I interview so many of them, some of them actually start following me because they like my concept and what I'm doing.
Yeah, I
And
love it.
listen, guess what? There's when I was talking to Jack Broadbent, the voice of the crawler, and My Hero Academia Vigilantes, we've been having regular conversations like how's life treating you, all that stuff.
See, yeah, people start to get invested in your own personal life for sure, for sure.
Hmm. Exactly.
Mhm.
Like, listen, I know it gets exhausting doing the same thing, like, but what are you guys doing outside of the work that you're doing?
Right? I mean, so like with me, for example, like I mean, Dominic's always working. I feel like he doesn't
Yeah.
stop. He did that guy and Ashley too. They never stop working. Like, yeah, they do stuff, with their family and friends and whatever, but at the end of the day, he's always drawing. Dominic, that's what makes him happy. He's just always drawing. And but with me, like once I'm at the show, like everybody who's worked with me so far knows like I'm zoned in. Like it's all about making the sales. It's all about like reaching my goal and spreading happiness by giving away Dom's artwork and stuff like that. But then the moment I'm home, so like I've been home for the last 3 months now, and it's just been nonstop, like helping my family because my family is going through a lot, helping with my friends, they're going through a lot. And my sister just had her second baby, so it's just like catching
Wow.
up with her. Yeah,
Oh,
it's and that's
congratulations.
thank you, and that's, like, the stuff that people don't know about me. Yeah, they see me at work, and they're like, "How are you doing this while you're traveling, and how are you able to, like, get back home and function and all this and that?" Well, I always tell people this as well. I run a military hour. I run a military time. I only sleep for, like, 4 to 5 hours a day, like, that's all
Mhm.
I need, and then I'm like, "Go, go, 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 go," and then I don't crash, and then I just go, 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 It's just, like, constant going. So
Like I said, you gotta be productive every day, and it
mhm.
helps you put your mind at ease. Don't overwork too hard now. It's okay to rest if you're tired. But
Oh, I'll sleep when I die. I'll sleep when
yeah,
I die.
don't overwork yourself. So, but yeah, it's nice that people like me are able to like just sit down. I was like, I want to take a break from all the pop culture stuff and let's talk
Mm,
about what you're up to. Now, maybe we might throw in a few things, but but you see where I'm going with.
yeah, I see where you're going with.
So, oh, next up, in a digital era where aesthetics are currency, how do you keep your confidence rooted in something deeper than appearance?
Okay, that's a really hard question, actually. How do I keep my confidence going? I know it doesn't seem like it, but I'm actually not that confident of a person. I've always lived with this model where you keep faking it until you make it, and it got to the point where when I was younger, I always kind of just lived life like every day and like normal, whatever, doing my own thing. And I didn't think that that was confidence. I always just thought like, okay, I'm supposed to be doing these things, so I'm doing X, Y, and Z. And then people were like, Darlene, you're really confident. You're coming off very confident. Like, how do you do these things without worrying about people's judgment? And then I'm like, because my mind is not thinking about those people who are judging me. I'm just doing these things because I want to do it. So then I guess a part of me always had the confidence, but then I'm also, I worry a lot about other people and what like I don't worry about random people. I worry about the people I care about that are with me. at home and what their mindsets are about me, and how they view me. Because I don't want them to like think like I'm doing something bad, or I'm not taking care of myself or whatever. But no, like my confidence does come down to where does it come from? How did I even get it? And I guess I just always trained myself to believe like do what makes you you. At the end of the day, you just got to do you, right? Because no one else is going to follow you. So
Mhm.
no one's going to pick you up besides you. So,
Exactly. I've been telling people, stop trying so hard to be something that you're not.
yeah.
Like I've been keeping that phrase with me for a long time because I tried
Mhm,
so hard throughout these years trying to be something that I'm not, instead of just
mhm.
being myself. Like, listen, I try to come up with so many cool things, but it's not me. Listen, Darlene, I am an introvert, but I'm still going out the house and trying to interact with you guys.
And I would have never known that. That's why it was so funny when I first met you. You're like, I'm an introvert. I'm like, no, you're not. No, you're not. I was like, dude, your voice and like your persona and the way you shine when you meet people, like that's why your podcast is it's going so well. It's because you allow the people that are on the video calls or podcasts with you to be themselves.
Exactly. I just want people to express because like I said, we're just people just having a nice conversation in the afternoons or at night, just talking
Hmm.
about what's going on.
Yeah.
Like life in general too.
Yeah.
So we can talk about anything. But yeah, I just like I said, you just do what makes you happy at the end of the day. I think this made
Mhm.
me happy today, having to be able to talk to you without even having to like spend money to get to somewhere I need to be to travel
For
just to
sure.
see you guys. It's easier
Yeah.
this way. But still, sometimes my parents say I need to get out the house. And I do be getting out the house. I don't want to stay in the house all day. I'm trying to get out and meet new people every time I go downtown in Savannah to try to,
Mhm.
and who knows, maybe go to other cities and might find some new people there.
Yeah,
Because
you never
listen,
know.
there's a billion y'all out there.
Yeah, we're everywhere.
So it's gonna be it's a big universe. So I gotta start looking around.
For sure. You never know who you're gonna run into.
Mhm. So let's just keep the momentum going.
For sure, for sure. No, like
Now,
talking about not, like going outside in college actually. It was freshman year of school
mhm.
and I was supposed to get ready to go to school on the first day. And my friends and I, we actually woke up late and we're just like, oh, freak, we're gonna freaking miss the first day of school already. And guess who's at the bean? Ellen DeGeneres was at the bean. You see this giant jumbo screen with her face on it. There's like 20 cameramans. There's like bodyguards everywhere and a group of people. So I looked at my friend. I was like, "Do you just want to skip school today?" And she's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Let's go see what they're doing." And then we're like walking up to the security or whatever. And security is like, "Oh, we need more people. We need more people in this group. Like it's so little." And then he's like, you two, stand in the back behind the giraffe." And I was like, "Okay," because there's like people dressed up in costumes. And I was like, okay. So me and my best friend, we ended up being on the Ellen DeGeneres show because we just decided to, whatever, just take a risk that day. So
That was amazing. Dude, I might need to take a page out of your book.
yeah, dude, just go outside. You never know who you're gonna run into.
Exactly. All right. Next up, when you post content, are you expressing who you are in that moment, or are you strategically shaping perception? And is there tension between those two?
Yeah. So that's kind of that's so funny you brought that up. So I'm at the point where I'm like, my Instagram is so all over the place. Do I end up making new accounts and have like a separate account for my artwork, and then another account for my modeling, and then another account for like Dominic Glover, and then another account for like for my cosplays, and like I have so much stuff on my Instagram, and I'm just like, what do I do? Like, how do I separate all of this, but also make it all into one thing, right? So it's just like anytime I post something on my Instagram, I try to make it as authentic as me as much as possible. Whether it's a commission work for somebody, whether it's someone's telling me, "Oh, hey, you have to read the script and you have to say this." But this is But and then I would read it and I'd be like, that doesn't really sound like me. So how do I make that sound like me and say it authentically, but also reach the goal of having to sell something or to, promote something, right? At the end of the day, it's so hard to separate the two because for me, I just want to be me on my Instagram. I just want to be personable and be that funny Darlene that makes me comfortable and makes me what gets the views because I know I'm the one that gets the view because I'm funny. Like I'm hilarious. I'm the one that actually gets the views. And then when I try to be something else and I post that, I've noticed my views were so low. So definitely yeah, it's a struggle between the two for sure.
Okay, okay. Yeah, and same thing with my social media with me posting these days. Thing is, back then I was just constantly posting just random stuff and etc. But now it's like I don't post things without context going forward.
Mhm, mhm.
If I don't have a context behind the post I'm doing, then what's the point of me posting this on social media?
Yeah, yeah, context is key.
So I didn't actually thing is, and this is again, this is the part of growing up. I can't be upset about what I didn't do back then.
Yeah,
You gotta focus on the now.
yeah, absolutely. We all start somewhere. We all gotta start somewhere.
So, but yeah, every time when I do something amazing, like I go to amazing places or I do something like this, I always post like like I said, if I don't know what the context is behind this thing I'm doing, then I'm not going to put it up there. And I think you're doing the right thing with you doing your social media. I know it's all over the place, but you're making it come together.
Yeah, I mean, in a way, it's still me. It's still unified as me, like as much as I want it to be something else and make separate accounts, but then having to start all over again. And I mean, I can, and it might go somewhere. I don't know. But at the end of the day, it's about tunneling and funneling everybody into that different account and having to do all that. It's just like so much work. So
So much work it is, but
it's a lot of
it
work.
is worth it.
It is worth it. Yeah, you're right.
So don't lose it. I think you're doing a lot of amazing stuff on that page. I like it.
Thank you. Thank you.
So last question, and then we'll be at the finale, okay?
Awesome. I'm excited.
Has social media ever changed your mental resilience? If so, what
Oh,
did it force you to strengthen within yourself?
oh yeah. Oh my goodness. I had a phase. I had a gym phase. I had a modeling phase. I had the uh, uh drawing phase. Dude, social media is so good but also so bad for you, Like there's moments where I literally okay, I say this all the time. I mean, you know this. Like I hate my phone. I hate it. I hate it, but it's the only way to like portray my work. And right now everyone's on social media because of how advanced technology has been, you know. But it's so unhealthy to be on it all the time and having to rely on it. Like, I wish we were back in the days where phones didn't exist again and you actually had to like create work and go outside to sell it, Like that was nice. I miss that. I miss the one-on-one interaction with people or having to rent a studio to show your artwork. Now everyone's a photographer. Now everyone's an artist. Now everyone's a model, Like how does that separate from all the models that worked so hard to become a model because they actually had to do the physical work besides social media, right? But now everyone's defining themselves as, oh, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, because it's easy to post it on TikTok, on Instagram, on Snapchat, or Facebook or whatever. And the moment you post it, and then it's so easy to change your bio and be like, I'm a professional model, right? It's so easy. It's so easy now. And that's the hard part is the competition, right? Social media is so hard to catch up on and having to be relevant, having to trend. So yeah, it's definitely a pro and con with social media. And I wish we weren't living in that life anymore, but it is what it is. That's you learn to adapt.
Yeah, it's tricky because there's a lot of stuff going on. It's hard to keep with social media. Listen, sometimes I do take a break between. I think in the next few weeks I might take a break from social media for a bit, maybe at least a 2 day hiatus.
I feel you. I feel you.
It does take exhausting a little bit because it's like there's so much going on in one day. It's hard to
Mhm.
keep up with what everybody else is doing, but we got to find ways to just take a break from all that.
Yeah, for sure. It's healthy too to do it for yourself, to just take a break and a lot of people, especially for females, we go on social media and then we're constantly comparing ourselves to, oh my gosh, she's so pretty, or oh my gosh, she's so like
Mm.
famous and popular and whatever. Or even with guys who are like, oh my God, he's a gym bro and he's so big. How did he get that big? Or oh my God, his content's so cool. Like it's so hard not to compare yourself when you're on social media. So yeah, no, definitely I love it, but I also really hate it.
There's an old saying, and someone told me this is when I interviewed them. Comparison is the thief of joy.
It is. It really is.
So,
Hmm.
gotta tell those thoughts to fuck off.
I'm telling you, I wish, but sometimes a part of you is like, maybe that's the motivation you needed. Maybe that's the kick in the butt that you need to keep going, you know?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. All right. So we're at the finale now, section 4.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Ambition, ambition, strategy, and the woman building a future.
Hmm.
Now, sales require sales requires emotional intelligence, reading
Yeah.
people, navigating rejection, understanding desire.
Hmm.
How has that sharpened you, not just professionally, but personally?
I've always been a very good salesperson. So before I did all of this, before I did theater and all this and that, I did nails for over a decade. And when you work in the nail industry, you're meeting all different age ranges of type of people. You're dealing with all different types of health too, which people don't really think about. They think, oh, I'm just gonna paint people's nails and make them look pretty that day and pick up my cash and my tip, whatever. No, you have to deal with, okay, today is a 12-year-old girl. She wants Hello Kitty on her nails. Okay, now how do I do that on tiny little nails that are like this and make her happy and make sure her parents are happy with it, you know? You gotta be personable. You gotta make sure, like, her parents agree with whatever that she's getting her nails done. Or one day, the next day, you're working with somebody who has arthritis, right? Her fingers are, swollen, and you can't really pull it all out. You gotta be gentle with each and every nails and details and stuff like that. So, yeah, when it comes to like sales, like I've always been so good with it because it's beyond the money for me. I don't really yeah, everyone needs money, but at the end of the day, for me, I think about past that. I think past about the money. I think more about how do I connect with this person that's in front of me and make him happy. And also, if he doesn't want to buy anything now, how do I make him come back, right? To make sure he has a memory of me of in that moment, like, oh hey, I remember you from the last show and you were so nice to me, so I'm gonna keep coming back to you. It's all about that. That's the key to being a salesperson is connecting with the people, being personable with the people, making sure that they're happy with whatever they purchase. Because at the end of the day, yeah, you can reach your goal, but if the people aren't happy, they're never gonna come back. You want returning clients. That's what you want.
Exactly. And this goes back to one of our early conversations. Like, people are trying to just be, famous and whatnot,
Mhm.
but at what cost though?
Yeah, what cost, right?
Mhm. So same thing with your business. Like, of course you need money, but you're still
Mhm.
trying to build a very amazing experience for people as well.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You wanna make sure your clients is happy first, so
Yeah. Okay. Clients first, money later.
mhm. Then that's
Exactly.
when the money starts rolling in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Um, Number 17, balancing creativity and business isn't easy. It's not. Trust
Mhm,
me. I've seen that before, especially with me creating doing work. You get the point.
mhm.
How do you switch between the artist and the strategist without losing either?
Okay, so when you're an artist, there's a lot that comes to it where, yeah, I can just keep painting and doing what makes me happy, but you also have to be strategic about what you paint or what you sell, right? That's why a lot of the paintings that I do are trending. A lot of them are like, for example, a show just came out, and I knew in advance that the end of finale Stranger Things are coming out, so I'm doing things to make my artwork become viral. You gotta always be on top of the trend to find the strategy of what the artwork is going if the artwork's going to be popular, if it's gonna be noticed and liked and sellable. So
Yeah, and I know it's kind of hard to navigate because it's like this is like my hobby, but I'm also doing other things as well. And
Mhm.
I know it doesn't come easy, but sometimes that hobby will eventually turn into a career. You
Yeah.
put your mind to it.
You put your mind to it. Yeah.
And so because I know I've seen so many people like because how can I say this? Hold on, I'm trying to think. Uh, let's say for example, I've seen so many people who also does like a lot of other art stuff, these cosplayers, VAs, fashion designers, etc. All
Mhm.
and tattoo artists, all that stuff they do. Well, tattoo artists, it's a full time job,
Yeah.
but not the point.
Mhm.
All these people who do these certain things and they do make a
Mhm.
lot of money, but
Mhm.
also they don't just do that. That's not their only thing that they're doing.
Yeah, it's not the only thing. Yeah.
Sometimes you got to have like a foundation that's going to fund all that stuff too.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
life is expensive. Life is expensive. It is.
Mhm.
And listen, when I graduated from college, I knew exactly that media
Mhm.
jobs are short these days. It's not
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
So eventually, I told myself, okay, well, I need to go back to school and learn something
Mhm.
different.
Mhm.
That's how I came across cybersecurity. And
Yeah.
I'm more of a computer person. Like, you know how many phone calls I get from my grandparents saying, "Hey, my computer TV's malfunctioning or something, etc." I had to have something extra foundation, like where I have a job where I can like work from a certain place and I can keep funding all the cool stuff I'm doing. And
For
guess
sure.
what? It's even more interesting because with the cybersecurity stuff, I can actually work from home.
Yeah.
So like, because I've seen so many people doing working at home jobs now.
Yeah,
Because I was
everyone's
like, what's the point
remote.
if you all
Mhm.
you need is a computer? Like, what's the point of going to your job when you can just work at home?
Mhm. Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, my dad doesn't like working at home. He wants to be out of the house. But
Same.
me and my mom and I were used to working at home because one, this is like my own personal office.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and plus my bedroom is back that way. So this is
Yeah.
like my office where I do work and everything.
That makes sense.
So you gotta have something, that's gonna keep you afloat. Like any kind of
Oh, yeah.
revenue that's coming in, that's gonna help
Mhm.
you do what all kinds of amazing things you're doing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like, when I started doing, selling my artworks just alone, like, I wasn't just drawing because I would be making nothing in, like, a week, or sometimes I get that really one big hit, and I had a painting that was selling for, like, $600, $700. You never But it's because of the inconsistency, and to be able to make your artwork sell and have it consistent, you're gonna have to keep producing a lot of artwork, and that wasn't what I was, like, willing to do at that time, so I was doing nails, and that nails was consistent. That was the money that was my foundation to keep me constantly drawing and being able to buy the supplies that I needed. Because watercolor paper ain't cheap, it's expensive. Like, microns aren't cheap, and watercolor palettes aren't cheap, so yeah.
No, they are not. You know how much? Listen, before I mention, do you know how much equipment I had to get last year from Best Buy to start do this whole thing? Like, I had to get like a lot of microphones and equipment,
Oh my god. And
even like the
lighting.
headphones. Because thing is, I needed this stuff, so I had to work like extra hours at my
Yeah.
job to get this stuff.
Mhm.
Like, this was like $150 this
Yeah.
Yeti microphone, and I was like, well, shoot. I need to work extra hours so I can have the money to get this stuff. So this is why it goes back to what I'm saying. Like having a sort some kind of revenue come in so you can get the stuff that you need to
Mhm.
keep making this incredible artwork. You got to do it. Otherwise,
Yeah,
you're not going to
yeah.
have the money to do it.
Yeah. That's so true. It's so true. Us artists, like I would consider you're an artist as well. We're like struggling artists. We're struggling to get to where we need to go because we don't have the money for it. But that doesn't stop us, right? Because at the end of the day,
Mhm.
it's all about the consistency. Stay consistent.
Stay consistency is key.
Yeah.
So, oh, next one. I think you'll like this one. Now when you think about financial independence and long term
Mhm.
success,
Mhm.
what drives you more? Security, freedom, impact, or legacy?
Oh my God. I do like that question. And that's such a hard question because I think about this all the time. I'm getting to that point in life where, I'm 31 now. Do I want a family in the future? Do I want kids? What is that going to look like? Do I taking care of my parents, like my mom alone, is expensive, and taking care of myself is expensive. So like, I guess it's not so much about the legacy, so I can eliminate legacy. I think it's more so once I get to the point of where I need to get, then it becomes freedom. I think I'm reaching more so for the freedom in my life. Because right now I'm definitely chained down and following this certain path in life to trying to reach that goal. So then eventually I could reach that freedom. Yeah.
Mm. That is interesting. I like that answer. I know you have so much going on for you, Darlene. And listen, it's not easy. It's not easy.
It's so hard.
I don't think life is ever easy every day.
No, it's
But
not.
it don't but it gets tolerable.
Hmm.
That's the main thing. It gets tolerable.
It
You know,
gets,
just kind
yeah, it does. I mean, it's because like somebody like you and somebody like me, we make things tolerable for us because we know how much push we're able to handle. How, people say God can only give you so much that you can handle. And that's true, right? We're able to do a lot of the things that we're able to do because we know how far we can go. So yeah.
of so we just gotta make sure, listen, it's tough, but I make sure to stay focused, whatever challenges that might be ahead. And
Yeah.
I think you're in a good mindset. You'll make it work.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I try, dude. I try so hard to be the good person, to work so hard to be like the awesome salesperson or whatever. But at the end of the day, there's stuff happening at home where I'm always constantly having it in the back of my mind. And it's like, hey, if I don't get this done this week, things next week are going to be pushed. So you're always got to challenge yourself into realizing like, what's that goal that you're looking for. Like Dom asked me a question when I first started working for him. He was like, hey, do you have a 5 years goal? And I was like, of course I do. He's like, oh, that's funny because not a lot of people do. I'm like, no, I've always known what I wanted to do, like what my goals are for the next 5 years, or some people say for the next 10 years or whatever it is. If you don't have that goal, or you don't have like that income money that you're trying to reach your life to be, you're not moving. You're stagnant. You're in this line. You're in this linear line where you're not actually trying to progress to reach that goal. So
I'm gonna have to thank my granddad for this when I go see him next time. There's something that he usually says. You'll like this one. He said, "People don't plan to fail; they fail to plan."
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So I'm going to tell him thank you.
You
It's
should.
true.
It's so true, dude. Like people are just like living life every day, and I get that. I get it. I get it. It's nice to just live day by day, but you have to have a goal. You got to ask yourself, what is my goal in the next 5 years? Where do I want to be? Where do I want to, what do I want to look like? What kind of success, what kind of money do I want to make? Where do I want to be? And it's so cool because, and I always tell people to do this too, on your phone, in your calendar, in the next year or so, or next 6 months or so, whatever it is, pick a random date, pick a random time, and be like, and literally put it on your calendar. Say, did I make it? Did I do it? And then once that reminder comes back up, and it's like on your phone, and it says, did you make it? And then you ask yourself again, did I make it? What is that? What was that for? And then you're like, you know what? If you did make it, you'd be like, yeah, I did do it. Or if you didn't, you'd be like, well, then damn, what am I doing? Right? So
Right. Phew. I might have to try that trick.
you should. It
So,
challenges you every day to grow.
all right. Next up, 5 years from now, and we just talked about this. What kind of woman do you want to have evolve into, not just professionally, but emotionally and spiritually?
Well, so it's so funny because if I didn't get this job with Dominic, I don't think I would have even gotten this far in life already. But my mom had cancer in 2019, so I was able to take care of her. Luckily, at that time, because everything just happened to pan out the way it did, and but I actually had to quit my job because it was like a lot of traveling, a lot of money, and my mom at home not being able to move and stuff like that. So I had to quit my job for a while and take care of her for about a year and a half. So I was just doing like part-time jobs and then just making sure to get home as quickly as possible. She's going through chemo treatments, and she had to do radiation after that, and then the healing process. And now what a lot of people talk about is the after effect of if you pass, and if you um you know are free of cancer, what happens afterwards. And not a lot of people talk about this, but there's a lot of things that cancer patients deal with after them, like, fighting cancer. Like, my mom's dealing with depression. She's dealing with a lot of
Mhm.
health issues, and now she's taking all these medications that are constantly changing her personality and her mind. And my mom used to be such a strong woman, and such like, literally a physically strong woman. She used to like, and back in Vietnam, she was like cutting wood every day and climbing trees and fixing houses and going in the ocean and like fishing every day. And it takes a lot of physical work. But now, like, seeing my mom as she is now, it like, a part of me is so sad to see that she's changing because of age, but also because of what she had to deal with during cancer. Um, but at the same time, I'm just like always asking myself, like, in the next 5 years, where do I want to be? And luckily, because of the job that I have now with Dominic, I was able to take care of my mom. I was able to, pay her what she needed to pay, make sure she had food in her house every single week or whatever. And because of the job that I have with Dom, it's just like completely changed my life completely. And now she's cancer free. Like, she's cancer free, and she's happy, and she doesn't have to take her cancer meds anymore. Like, and that I found out that news like a week ago. I brought her to the doctors, and we found that out, and it's been so liberating. So yeah, definitely in the next 5 years, I want to make sure that she's still here. You know, to see my sister's kids grow up, and obviously in the next 5 years, I think for me at least, I will find some sort of stability in my life. Hopefully by then, if I don't get married, I'll still be that badass aunt for my nieces and nephew, you
Mhm.
know? Yeah, that's all I could ask for, and hopefully I do make it to that 5-year mark, because you never know. You gotta live
Mhm.
every day for the day it is.
I got you. And also, I'm sorry your mom had to go through that. No, it's
It's all good.
easy.
Life happens.
Yeah, yeah. My great grandmother passed away 3 years ago in 2023. It's good thing she got to see me graduate from college.
Yeah.
She saw me graduate from college right before she died in the fall of 2023, and it was that was kind of heartbreaking because she was 100 years old.
Oh my god, so she lived a life. She
Yeah,
lived a
she
good life.
she got a milestone, and I think she was happy to see that that I was the first one to graduate out of the family. So I think that was really nice. I still have a picture of her. I never deleted it
Wow.
because I'm keeping that picture.
I'm telling you, that's a sign. That's a huge sign that she made it that far for you. That's incredible. I love that.
So, but yeah, I'm glad to have gotten the time with her that I did.
Yeah. You never know who's gonna be here in the next 5 years. So yeah, definitely try to embrace every moment with them as much as you can. So
Exactly. Last question. When this episode ends and people walk away with an impression of Darlene Pham, you, what truth about you do you hope lingers in their mind long after the conversation fades?
when people ask you the question, like, when you die, who's gonna show up at your funeral? You know,
Yeah.
who's gonna be there? It's kind of like this question, right? I always want people to think of me in a way like, oh my gosh, she was so happy. I always want people to see me happy as much as possible, and see the things that I've done in my life that helped others. I always love helping people, whether it burns me down, whether I'm like on my last 1% battery, I will always use that 1% battery just to help people. So that definitely what I want to leave behind is that I was there for people. I, gave them happiness, make them laugh. That what means a lot to me is that I gave them that second that meant a lot to them because they needed that. So yeah, definitely.
Wow. That is amazing. Just want to, all you want to do is just help people. Same thing
That's
with
all
me here. That's all we want to do.
I wanna do.
Exactly.